Hello, how you doing? So my name is Rebecca Oyeme. I am a mindset coach. So in this video, we're talking about trauma, how to manage trauma. So three options. You choose to manage. If you are the opposite person in the relationship, if you are the person involved, you can choose to overcome it. Okay? So make your choice. So now what's trauma? Trauma is repetition of a negative experience of childhood. Now, 80% of time, trauma is something that happened in childhood, and it's an experience that you have not been able to overcome. And now you are older, or you are now married, you now have a partner, you're repeating the same process. And the funny thing with trauma is that if you're not intentional about it, you will think you are right, because it is a norm, it is a pattern for you, and then you see the other person as wrong, whereas in the normal sense, you are the one that is wrong. So trauma is something that you as a person, you should intentionally check yourself. You should do what? You should intentionally check yourself. Do an audit for yourself and see, and check yourself, check your childhood. Is this something you really want to repeat? If you go back as a child, if you start having children, is it a lifestyle that you want to repeat? If you audit yourself and is a no, then you know you have an issue that you need to resolve. If you check through your childhood, every single thing that happened to you, is this something you want to repeat for your children? Is this something you want to joyfully say your children should do? Or if you are that person who have kids and you check your lifestyle from childhood, that lifestyle, is this something you want your own children to emulate? If it's a no, then there's an issue that you need to resolve. Trauma is something that a lot of people do not even know that they have traumas. And so they transfer it to the people around them. You are in a workspace, something is happening, you were just complaining, you are not resolving it. Instead of you to sit down and ask, how do we resolve it, you're blaming every other person. 80% of people who have trauma, they blame people around them. They always feel they are right, and so they blame every other person around them, whereas they are the problem. For you to be able to help somebody that has trauma, and you're around that person, whether you are the partner, whether you are in the place of work, whether you are anywhere you are, you have to be patient with them. You need to understand that this is not the person in their normal sense. This is not really what they would like. So during your conversation, you must have heard them say, okay, this, I like this, I want this, I want this. I really don't like the things that triggers them. You see that the things that triggers them, 80% of the time, the things that triggers you is part of a repetition of you. Now you have a situation where they did something to you that you did not like. So when you see anything around that, you are triggered. You are easily triggered. You're like, don't trigger me. Don't do this to me. Once they do that thing to you, it just reminds you. And because trauma puts an emotion around something that happens to you. For instance, say you were raped. Now, maybe once, maybe multiple times, and then there's an experience, there's an emotion you attach to that rape. Now you're grown, maybe you are even married, and then your partner comes and you're not in the mood, you really don't want that, and your partner comes and is trying to, and then in your head you're like, all your antenna just stands, then you now get yourself like, okay, oh, this is my partner. So the trauma part of you is that even when your partner is trying to do something right, you are triggered. You are reacting that way, like your antenna is telling you violence, violence, violence. So defend yourself, 80% of the time you want to defend yourself. It's something you have to you have to consciously work work on yourself. Now, there was somebody I had a conversation with sometime that I didn't even know it was something that was out there. What was it called? Is it I don't know. I can't even figure out the name. So all through the while, she's a Christian girl, and she was told that normally, 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 bed on the file, and so marriage before you meet your partner. So she stayed until she got married, and so she realized that when she got married, whenever she wants to bond with her partner, her entire body locks. You know, the whole system will just lock. And we got talking. She came to me and she was like, she likes her partner very well. But how come whenever it's something of that nature, the whole body will just lock? And she's like, I had to help her understand that all the years she has been made to understand that being intimate is a sin. There wasn't a but until she got married. She now realized, okay, being intimate is a sin, but not with your partner. So now her mind tells her, when somebody comes around her mind tells her, hey, hey, trouble, trouble, somebody's coming close to you, you get pregnant, and the rest of them subconsciously. So she had to consciously work on herself. That's the thing with trauma. Positive trauma, negative trauma, whichever type of trauma. But trauma is something that you have tied an emotion with. And so when that thing is happening, even when it does not happen, when it looks like it, all your antenna rises. And so you are trying to defend yourself. So if you understand this for your partner, if you understand this for your friend, if you understand this for your neighbors, if you understand this for everyone around you, you'll be able to understand that sometimes the things some people do are not intentional. It's not intentional. It's just a part of them that is trying to defend them. So you have to be patient with them. So you have people, if you have partners who have trauma in one area or the other, you can imagine somebody getting too irate because of food. Maybe you're wanting to serve the person food. There's this particular food that while the person was growing up, when they bring that food, maybe as they bring the food, the parents will always, or they stayed with somebody and they will be like, they always get mad at that person when they bring the food. They will always nag on top of the thing, and there's this feeling of like they just don't want that food to come around them, just food oh. And you now prepare that same food in your mind, you have done your best, you now prepare the food and bring it to that person. The person is like, you see the person just react in a way. Even when the meal is very nice, the person is like, what's this? You know? And then you see the person come back to themselves. They might even tell you they don't want to eat or they are not hungry. It's their trauma. So trauma comes in different ways. It comes in different ways. So just try and understand what the trauma is for everybody you are around. 80% of people have one trauma or the other that they are going through. Some is limiting beliefs. They are good at what they do, but they never see themselves as good. People are saying, you are good, you can do this. Why are you not doing this big? Why are you not doing this? And in your head, you're like, me do this? Why should I do this? Why should I do this? I should hold. So to overcome trauma, know your trauma, know your trigger, know what triggers you, and let your partner or let your friend or let them know. Okay, there are situations where you can't let them know what your trauma is. And if you don't have people around you who can sense it by themselves, just try and avoid the things that triggers you. you know because it's happened to you before, it can easily come up again. So if you know you have a trauma, and if you now have a partner, let them know what the trauma is. so they can try as much as possible to help you avoid it. Okay, so that's it. To overcome your trauma, know that you have trauma and be conscious about the trauma. Know what triggers your trauma. Okay, and so partners, please help them out. Help them out, okay? Help them out. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this video. Subscribe. It's raining. There's a downpour outside. It's raining so heavily. So subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you love this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video to everyone that needs it. Okay, so just as little as trauma is, it can break homes. It can cause people to just pride pride. It can cause home to scatter. So please try and be patient with your partners, because you don't know what they are going through. Sometimes it's not everything they tell you. Okay, it's not everything you know. So just try and help them out. Be patient. There are some things that somebody is doing and you're like, does this person not have sense? How can you do this? Like, how can you do this? Somebody is just sitting on one thing that is not necessary. Somebody is just telling you, like, say you should just maybe clean your latches. The person feels so irritated because you have not cleaned your latches. That's one. The person is so irritated. Maybe in time past something has happened and it just triggers them. They just remember that thing. It is the feelings that will tie around this trauma that makes it trauma. The feelings that will tie around it. Yes. So please remind the kind of emotions you tie around things. Okay? When somebody does something to you, you're like, I will never forgive you in my life. You hurt me so deeply, I will never forgive you. And the same thing happens to another person, and the person is like, no big deal. Because the person is not tying any emotion around it. So it's the emotion we tie around things that makes it the trauma. Something happens to you, meet a person, you are happy with the person, and then you meet another person that looks like that person, you're like, I know you from somewhere. You just like the person, you want to just favor the person. You get? Because you tied, for that experience, you tied a positive emotion to it. But when you tie a negative emotion to something, and then you see another person that looks like that person, you're like, you hurt me, you broke my heart. It's not that person that broke your heart, you broke my heart. You just dislike the person for nothing. Your trauma is disturbing you. Please, don't rub your trauma on other people. It is your trauma. They were not there when it happened to you. Don't rub it on other people. Do not rub your trauma on other people. Alright? So try to be patient with yourself. Try to be patient with your partner. Try to be patient with your loved ones around you. The deed is done. So it's better to live in peace. It is cheaper to live in peace, like I always say. That's my slogan. It's cheaper to live in peace. If you're not in peace, you have a lot of energy to get angry, a lot of energy to say you want to go, a lot of energy to want to commit suicide, a lot of energy to want to cause negative things here and there. But control your emotions. Work on your emotions. Okay? So I see you when I see you. See you in my next video. You've missed me, right? So write in the comment section your take home. Write in the comment section. What do you want me to talk about next? Write in the comment section. I'll definitely make a video for you. I love you. I miss you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. My name is Rebecca Oyemolale. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.